Sellen with EXP Realty. Welcome to my very first homebuyer seminar. I am so excited to do this. I've been working on it for weeks, and I got lots of info for you. First, if I did this right, I set up chapters for YouTube. So if you take your mouse and you hover it over the bottom of the screen, it will be broken up into chapters. So you can kind of scroll through and see the things that are more important to you. It's also in the description box below what information you'll find where. But let's get into it. So first, this market is unlike any other market we've ever seen before. After the lockdowns, the market went crazy. I can't tell you why. No one really knows. The interest rates are super low, so there's lots of buyers and there's not much inventory. So when that happens, prices go up. But I will tell you, I do not see prices coming down anytime soon. I think a lot of people were like waiting for 2022 for the prices to go down. It's not going to happen. What we're going to do tonight is go over a couple important things that you need to know when you buy, maybe some ways to make your offer stand out, and kind of the whole home buying process. Now, I have other people joining in, and I'm super excited to have them aboard. However, I wanted to keep this seminar kind of short and sweet. So all of the very, very important things that I think any buyer needs to know is going to be in this seminar. There is going to be other links that I will email you that will have way more information. I have so much information for you. You are going to be overloaded with information. But my home inspector, when he comes on, he did a great video and he has so much more information for you. Same with my closing company. We just have so much for you. But for this seminar, I wanted to keep it just the meats and potatoes and the most important things you need to know. So let's get going. Okay, the very first thing that you need to do when you are going to be home shopping in the 2022 market is get a pre-approval. Gone are the days when you can find a house and then get a pre-approval. It's not going to work. When a good house hits the market, it is going to be gone within a week. No joke, it's gone. A lot of times Wednesday or Thursday, a house with the market, that seems to be like the high rate day for new listings to come. They do showings over the weekend. They present offers on Monday. It's just the way it is. So by the time you see the listing, you might go look at it on a weekend. Do you have a lender that's going to give you a pre-approval on a Saturday or Sunday? Probably not. And offers are going to be presented on Monday. And every other buyer that you're up against is going to have a pre-approval. Plus, if I'm representing the seller, and a lot of other agents will do the same thing, they will tell their seller, you better not accept an offer that doesn't have a pre-approval. Not even just a regular pre-approval, a verified pre-approval where that lender is saying, yes, we did our job, this loan is going to close. So you have to have a pre-approval. A couple things that you need to look for when you're working with a lender. One, you need to make sure that that lender is collecting docs from you. If they are just pulling your credit and asking you a couple questions and saying, yep, we can approve you for $120,000, run away. You need a lender that's going to get those docs from you, actually look at your file and know whether or not you are actually able to buy. Second thing you want your lender to do is to give you a cost sheet breakdown. You want to know how much it's going to cost you to buy this house, how much money you're going to have to need at closing, what your monthly payment is going to be. If they tell you we can't do that till you have a house in mind, run away. They can give you an estimate. You need those cost sheets. One of my favorite lenders, Mr. Richard Cardinali with Union Home Mortgage, will do that. He will take care of you. He is phenomenal. Not only has he been in this business for a very long time, he knows his stuff. He will explain things to you so nice and clearly, and he's fun to work with. He's a blast. So here is Mr. Richard Cardinelli with Union Home Mortgage.
Hey guys, my name's Rick Cardinali. I'm with Union Home Mortgage Corp, based in Strongsville, Ohio. My particular location is in Western Pennsylvania, near and dear to all of you guys here participating in this homebuyer seminar put on by the awesome EXP Realty and the Stephanie Sellen team. So thank you, Stephanie, for the warm introduction. Greatly appreciate it. And I love being a part of this evening because this is something I'm extremely passionate about. So first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about financing. Yeah, I know, snore, credit, money, all that stuff. It's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable to talk about. And I get it 100%. but you got to have that conversation. So number one, don't put a cart before the horse. Do not rush out after tonight's home buyer seminar, run out, fall in love with something on a Saturday, and then try to figure out financing. Okay. You never want to try to figure out a family vacation by starting at the airport. You start at home trying to figure out the family vacation, getting all your documents together, making sure you got your passport, your real photo ID, the cost, laid out, all of those things. And then you get to the airport. Okay. So never, ever, ever get the cart and the horse out of order. Okay. So Stephanie's going to be awesome. She's fantastic. She's going to find you a property extremely fast. The problem is she's going to find you a property a lot faster than maybe you're ready to go. So let's have a dialogue first. Number one, I start off, it's pretty easy. I ask you 9 questions. Honestly, my process is about creating a financial plan first, and the byproduct of the plan ends up being your home loan vehicle. Okay. Lots of financing programs out there. There's really 4 core. There's little nuances with each one of those programs. Now, I'm not going to get into all of those details tonight because guess what? I can't paint everybody with the same brush. Certain people participating tonight, watching all of this, will qualify for conventional financing, and certain people will only qualify for USDA, VA, or FHA government financing. So, again, it really takes having an initial dialogue. Now, I know after this, wishful thinking, I'm hoping everybody calls me, everybody texts me, but it's going to take an actual conversation. And that's going to be where our process in the financing world starts. I'm going to actually ask you for a pile of paperwork in exchange for a pile of money. That's why lenders ask for so much stuff these days. It's a trade, right? I give you this, you give me that. That's how, really, in essence, this process works. Having the best, most thorough picture of your financial picture, so to speak, is what's going to create the best pre approval possible. Now, I want to take a brief second and talk about pre qualification versus pre approval. Stephanie is going to tell you either later or has already told you, and I can tell you this, the market moves quickly. Okay. If you love a house, there's a pretty good chance lots of other people like it too. So everybody's kind of fighting over the same fruit at the fruit stand. Everybody wants to be the winning bid. How do you become the winning bid? Be early in the financial discussion. Be prepared. Be prepared for your flight to your family's vacation destination. If you don't have your ducks in order and have your paperwork in line, the odds are it's going to be a struggle. It'll be difficult. You've probably heard nightmares from family members and from relatives that had indicated, oh my gosh, my mortgage process was a mess. Well, the odds are they didn't start early enough in the mortgage process, and they probably didn't talk to somebody that is a true financial advisor, somebody that is going to provide good detailed information and gather a lot of personal information up front, doing the homework, doing the diligence. So my process is really this: top 9 questions. I ask some nuts and bolts. I share a mobile app. The mobile app's extremely robust, gives you lots of information, but the key point is that it's going to provide you a detailed checklist. Once your information is provided, then at that point in time, that pre-approval is going to happen. But before that pre-approval is issued, we're going to have a financial design meeting. That's going to be an online screen share, basically, where I see your computer, you see my, all that stuff. And basically, we go through making sure you understand the numbers. The biggest thing that I've run into for the last 26 years is buyers falling in love because they have awesome realtors, falling in love with homes very, very quickly, and then seeing the numbers after they've written the agreement of sale, or the numbers were put together erroneously, wrong, whatever the case was. And then the buyer, you guys, are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive. So let's get all of that heavy lifting out of the way before you're falling in love with homes and properties and finding out later, oh my gosh, I didn't know that we couldn't afford it or that we couldn't make those payments. So I'll tell you, don't get the cart and the horse out of order. Pre-qualifications, quick conversation, just a little bit of information, handwritten. Okay, you're qualified. That's not going to put you in the pole position to be the winning bid when there's limited inventory. You want to be the winning bid, right? That's ultimately why you want to execute an agreement of sale with Stephanie and buy a property on the market space. You need to be the winning bid. How do you become the winning bid? By having a nice, clean pre approval process, understanding what your numbers look like, and putting your best foot forward on the home of your dreams once you actually find it. So, guys, if you'd like to know more information about myself, my company, you can visit rickcardinali.com. That's Cardinal like the bird, with an I on the end. Click on apply online. You can complete information there, or you guys can easily call me at 412 348 8331. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of the homebuyer seminar. I'll be happy to take any of your calls, which I know, right? You guys are going to all text me immediately after this. I'll talk to you later. Have a nice evening.
Isn't he great? I just love him. Thank you, Richard. So yeah, if you guys are even considering buying a house, you definitely want to talk to Mr. Cardinelli there. Um, a lot of people I think that they need 20% down and like a 720 credit score, and that's not the case. There are so many different loan programs out there. I don't want to get too in depth because that can be a whole nother seminar, but there are federally insured loans that can help you with your closing costs and your payments and all kinds of things. And I like I said, I don't want to get into it, but there are so many different ways that Mr. Cardinelli can figure out a way to get you in your own home. And if he's not able to, he's going to help you get to that point. So absolutely reach out to him, even if you are considering buying a home, or maybe you're not doing it now, but you want to do it in the future. I would definitely get a hold of him and see what he can do for you. Okay, so now you got your pre-approval and you went house shopping, and now it's time to put in an offer. You found a house you like and you want to put in an offer. There are about 5 different building blocks to an offer, right? You have your purchase price, and that will change depending on negotiating and whatnot. You have your earnest money deposit. This is the money that you're going to put down once your offer is accepted, that that shows the seller that you're serious about their home, and this is the money you're going to put down, and it will go towards your closing cost. So the higher your deposit, the stronger your offer. Typically, we see about 500 to 1,000 in this market. If you want to make a statement, I've seen 2,000, 5,000. The higher the earnest money deposit, the more skin in the way you can make your offer strong is by having a high earnest money deposit. Okay, another part of your offer is seller's assist. Now, you should have this conversation with your lender, but you can ask the seller to help pay for your closing costs. Honestly, in this market, it's really hard to do that. But first, let's talk about what seller's assist is, because it might be foreign to you. So seller's assist is where you're asking the seller to help pay for your closing costs. So let's say the house is listed for 100,000, and you're going to offer the seller 100,000, but in return, you want the seller to give you 6% seller's assist. 6% is the highest you can go. It completely depends on you and your lender, so you definitely want to talk to them. But 6% is the highest you can go. So you're offering them 100,000 with 6% seller's assist. So what that means is you're going to give them 100,000, but you're asking them to give you $6,000 from the proceeds. So you're not really giving the seller 100,000. You're actually giving them 94. Your loan is still for 100,000, but the seller is actually only walking away with 94,000. So what we've done in this market, because it's a little bit crazy, is we will offer them 106,000. So that compensates that 6,000 that you're asking to get from them. Does that make sense? And that works fantastic as long as the house will appraise. As long as the house will appraise for that 106,000, you're golden. And the seller gets what they want, you get what you want, and you're good to go. So that's another way to kind of sweeten up your offer. The other part to an offer is your financing. How are you going to pay cash? I mean, cash is king, and you'd be surprised how many cash deals there are. So cash is obviously the best offer you can have. Second best is a conventional loan, and I think that's what a lot of people think of when they think of a mortgage is the conventional loan. The appraisal process isn't as strict. There's less guidelines with a conventional loan. Sellers want to work with conventional buyers. In this market, a lot of sellers shy away from the government insured loans. The government insured loans, that's your FHA, your VA, your USDA, those type of loans, because the government is insuring the lender that you're going to pay it back. So the government wants to make sure that those houses are safe, and it's actually just to protect the buyer. It's good for you that they want these things done, but it's a pain in the butt for the seller. Just some typical things we see a lot is chipping or peeling paint. They can't have any of that. Handrails on all the stairs, a good heat source, no water in the basement, those kind of things. That if something like that were in the house, the lender is going to want them repaired before closing. So some sellers don't want to deal with government funded loans because they don't want the appraisal to come back and they have all this stuff to do. So that's another way you can make your offer stronger if you have the chance to be able to go conventional. If not, like I said, I've dealt with so many government funded loans that I would say about 80% of my offers are government funded, and we still get them accepted. It's just hard sometimes when you're working against conventional. So that's another component to an offer. One of the biggest is the contingencies that you can have on your offer. So that's like a home inspection contingency, a well test, a water test. And I have the great Scott Shaw of Eagle Eye Inspections here, and he is going to walk you guys through his company and how he does home inspections and what you can expect if you do a home inspection with Mr. Scott Shaw. Scott?
Hi, my name is Scott Shaw with Eagle Eye Inspection Services. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the home inspection business and what it entails, what to look for in a home inspector, what to expect when you have an inspection done, and what not to expect. I have been in the home inspection industry for 10 years, full-time home inspector. Prior to that, I was in real estate and sold real estate for a few years. I am a ASHI, American Society of Home Inspector Gold certified inspector, one of the few in Northwest Pennsylvania. So some of the things you want to look for in a home inspector, you want to make sure that that inspector is affiliated with a national organization. So what to expect? There are inspection standards. Once again, as I said, that's why you want to hire somebody that is affiliated with a national organization. We all have standards of practice, SOPs that we follow. An inspection is going to look at foundations, basements, crawl spaces, heating, plumbing, electrical systems, all the individual rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms, living space, roof. Now, standards of practice as far as a roof goes, it is not required for the inspector to climb on the roof, walk on the roof. Myself personally, if I can get on a roof, I'm going to get on a roof. Sometimes it's just not safe. Sometimes, right now, we're in the middle of a blizzard, just had 10 inches of snow. The roof isn't even visible. So it's just impossible at some point in time sometimes to look at a roof. But personally, my business, I will do everything I can to get on the roof, view it with binoculars from the ground, look at it from the eaves off of a ladder. I also now carry a drone with me, so that if I need to, I can get a drone up there and at least get a look at the roof. So that's going to be included. Attic space would be included in the inspection. Garage, either attached or detached. Now that's personally me. If there's any other structures on the property, you will need to let the inspector know that and whether or not you want those structures inspected. We cannot, as an inspector, tear anything apart. I cannot dismantle. I can't open walls. If it is concealed, there is nothing I can do to get in. I can't open spaces up. uh, if attics, and this is one that is quite often I see. I go into a home that is fully furnished, closet, the access to the attic is in a closet, packed full of clothes, stored items, everything else. I can't get into that space. So if it's a situation where the closets are packed full, unfortunately, some areas just are inaccessible. Crawl spaces, things like that. But myself personally, you are going to receive a report, and I generate reports out the next day. Reports are emailed out in the morning. You will have anywhere from 20 to 30 page report. A lot of that depends on the size of the home, the amount of deficiencies that are found, and pictures, explanations, and a lot of times you're going to get good information as to maybe not just everything that's wrong with the home, but maintenance items, things that need taken care of, just tips to maybe there's insulation in the attic, but additional insulation would help with comfort and efficiency as you're moving forward, save you some money, keep your home warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. A lot of times, giving tips on just home maintenance items, and a lot of times that is what is found is maintenance items. So as far as being at the inspection, everybody, I'm sure every inspector has different opinions on that. My opinion is this. I would prefer you to be at the inspection if you can be. Now, I understand people work. Sometimes they just cannot be at the inspection. Being at that inspection is going to, first off, and being at the inspection doesn't mean you have to follow me around or follow the inspector around. Really, it gives you a good time to come into the home. Couple hours is what an inspection takes to be done. It gives you a good chance to look around, maybe take some measurements, maybe do a little bit of dreaming, but if there's anything that comes up, I can take you right to that spot. I can show you what we're talking about. You can see it, you can look at it, and we can discuss options as far as repairs, and alleviate a lot of concerns at that point in time. So my personal opinion, I would much rather you be at the inspection so that we can discuss things face to face versus over the phone, because it's a lot harder to relay information via phone, text, email, that sort of thing. Now, just saying that, absolutely, if you can't be there, we have people that come buy houses from California, all over the place. They just can't be there. They work. They just can't be there. So I always say, any questions, once you have that report, once you can digest that information, any questions that arise, please don't ever hesitate. Reach out to me. Call me, text me, email me, whatever's convenient for you, whatever you are comfortable with, and we can sit down and we can go over that report. Please, best of luck with your future endeavors. I know it's a frustrating time buying a home. It can be very difficult sometimes, stressful, but it is home ownership is awesome. So best of luck, everyone, and I hope you've got something out of this. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Scott. Wasn't that like jam-packed with lots of good information? I am telling you, his video, it was so good. It was so hard to cut things out. He has stuff on mold, on water test and septic test, and like all the different types of water tests you can do and other tests that he does. Like, there's so much information. Definitely check the link below. Look at the whole home inspection video, and you will get tons of more information. So I always recommend getting a home inspection. Always. What we do in this market sometimes is we say that the home inspection contingency is for discovery purposes only. So what that means is when a seller gets an offer and it has a home inspection contingency, sometimes they get scared Because like, oh gosh, what are they going to find? They're going to sit here and nitpick and try to get us to do this and that and the other thing, and they're going to want us to reduce our price and blah, blah, blah. So in this market, what we do sometimes is say we're going to do a home inspection, but it's going to be for discovery purposes only. Meaning we're not going to sit here and say, well, we want that window fixed, we want that floor repaired, we want a new outlet here. We are just wanting to find out the problems that do exist, just so that we know. So moving forward, we know what we're dealing with. You can still walk away if it's too much for you, and if you're not comfortable moving forward. But you go into it thinking that this is just so you can figure out what needs done, and you're not going to go back and tell the seller that they need to fix all these things. Now, you don't always have to do this, and people don't do it. I mean, they still do the home inspection contingency, and then they turn around and want the seller to fix all this and do price reductions and whatnot. And sometimes it does work out for the buyer's favor, but I've seen sellers say, I'm not doing that, I'll put it back on the market and get what I want for it. So it's just another negotiating, another tip or tool you could do. And whenever you do have a home inspection contingency, you can walk away. You always have that option to walk away, and you'll get your deposit back. So you'll just be out the money for the home inspection. Okay, and then the last thing that you want to think about with your offer is an appraisal contingency. In cities, big cities, a lot of times you see buyers waive the appraisal contingency. So what an appraisal contingency is, it's saying you're going to purchase this home for $100,000 as long as it appraises, because the bank is going to want it to appraise. If it doesn't appraise for $100,000, the lender's not going to give you the money for the $100,000, right? So you always want to have the appraisal contingency on there. However, some houses are super hot, and some people really, really want them, and they want to get them no matter what. So some people will waive that appraisal contingency. So they're going to say, it doesn't matter what it comes in at, we will buy it at this price. So say the house is $150,000 and it only appraises for $140,000, the buyer is going to put $10,000 up of their own money to buy the house. It happens. Not a whole lot in our market, but definitely in the cities. So I don't know where you guys are all from. So it's just a little tip. Another thing you can do to make your offer stand out, but kind of give you a buffer and some protection, is you can do an escalation clause. Now you want to think of it kind of like your eBay bidding, okay? So let's say that they are asking for $100,000, but you know there's multiple offers. You know it's going to go way more than $100,000. So you can say, I am going to give you $100,000 starting out, and I will go up in, let's just say $5,000, just to make it easy, $5,000 increments until I get to $125,000, so I can beat the highest bidder. So somebody else comes in at $110,000, your escalation clause kicks in, and you are now at $115,000, and you won. But you didn't have to go to that 125, but it was there if you needed it. Does that make sense? So that's another way you can strengthen your offer. So those are some things you can do to get your offer accepted. Okay, so after your offer is accepted, yay, this is my favorite, then the ball really gets moving. So your lender is going to be in contact with you. They're going to want docs from you. Keep the docs, keep all the docs, because there's a chance you're going to have to send them back to them. So just keep everything handy. Then you're going to need to pick a closing company or an attorney, title agency to do the title search, issue you title insurance, and do the closing for you. I'm with EXP, so I actually don't have a real office. So my favorite closing company to use is Colonial Title. Tracy Snell with Colonial Title is phenomenal. She will go way beyond my expectations for my clients every single time. No joke, she has closed deals for me in the parking lot at a prison, on the hood of a car in McDonald's parking lot, at a park outside when it was started to rain. Like, Tracy is she goes above and beyond. So I'm going to let her talk and kind of explain what she does and the importance of title insurance and a closing company, and then we'll come back. All right, Tracy, here you go.
Colonial Title, which is a title agency that has two offices, one in the Northwest Pennsylvania, which is the office that I run. And then there's one in Sewickley, which is the office in the southwestern Pennsylvania area. We also cover different states, but of course we're talking about Pennsylvania right now, so that's what you're interested in hearing. Because I cover the north part of the territory, most likely I will be the one coming to close your transaction, and I will kind of be your liaison. I do have a inside team that will handle the processing of the paperwork for the title. Of course, that entails ordering the title search, also ordering things for unfiled liens, which would be things like taxes, municipal liens, child support, spousal support, bankruptcies. So we order all of those things to make sure that even though they're not on record at the courthouse, you're covered in the event something like that were to occur and it would become an issue in the future. So title insurance works unlike other insurances. It doesn't cover you for things that happen in the future. It covers you for things that have happened in the past. Sometimes people will say, well, can't I just get a title search and won't that be sufficient? A title search is going to show you what's on record, but who's going to back that search? The searcher is going to tell you what they find, but maybe they missed something, maybe there's something behind the scope of their search. And title insurance actually gives you some assurance that if there would be an issue with title, then you would be able to recoup your financial loss. And of course, that's why the lender wants title insurance, and why most people, even paying cash, want to have a title search and title insurance. Now, you as the consumer have the choice of who you want to handle your end of the title matter. You can choose to have an attorney, or you can choose to have a title agency. Now, a title agency is a little bit more flexible as far as time is concerned. If you need us to come to close your transaction after hours, you don't have to fit into a time slot in our office. We come to you and we'll handle your transaction at your convenience. So you have the convenience factor. Also, we're told that our fees are more in line and more realistic. And of course, that's one of your concerns is, how much am I paying for this? Now, when you get a loan application and a loan estimate from your lender, the fees that are quoted on the loan estimate are already including ours. Sometimes people will call and say, I need an estimate for title insurance, and I'll give them the quote and they think it's over and above what's on the loan estimate, and that's not the case. It's already included in there. So you just kind of compare our figures to what they've estimated. And they usually estimate high to make sure that there's no sticker shock at the time of closing. I've been doing this 28 years, and so I always say I kind of have a spidey sense if something just doesn't feel right, and I'll have our abstractors go back and check, or I personally will go back and check. Being that I've done this 28 years, I will do some of the searching myself, just to make sure that there's no liens out there that might have been missed, or sometimes things are misindexed, so I'll double check on that. So in telling you all of these things about the kind of service that you would get from Colonial Title and myself personally, I'm just letting you know that you would be in good hands, and that somebody's behind the transaction. And the people that are involved in this video conference, I know they all care. They're not just in it to just get another transaction, but we all want what's best for you. And so I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Thank you very much for your time, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Tracy. Isn't she great? I just love her. Okay, so after your offer is accepted, tons of things happen all at once. So first, the lender is going to work with you to get all your docs so that he can send everything over to his underwriting department. The underwriting department is the department that will give you the clear to close. It's the department that can actually approve your loan. A pre-qualification and a pre-approval is not guaranteed It's not. So after your offer is accepted, it's super important. You don't go out and buy a car. You don't open up any other lines of credit. If you had a stash of cash underneath your bed, you don't deposit it. Like anything you do financially, you want to run it through your lender first before you do it. Because anything like that could ruin your chances of getting this house. So you definitely need to work really close with your lender on anything financial. But anyways, he's going to get your file ready to look fantastic for the underwriters. So the underwriters like, yep, they're good. They can have the loan. So he's going to be doing that. The closing company is going to be working hard to do your title insurance and title search. Then you also have to make sure that you get that home inspection done. So that home inspection has to be done pretty much within 2 weeks after your offer is accepted, along with any other tests or contingencies that you have on your offer. So if you have a water test or you want the property boundaries done, you want a survey, all of that has to be done within 2 weeks of your offer being accepted. So all that's going on. Plus, the lender is also going to order the appraisal. Now, the appraisal is not the home inspection. I think a lot of people get that confused. I think with the FHA, VA, USDA loans, that appraisal process is their inspection for the government funded loans. So that appraiser is certified through the government to go and look at that house and say, this needs done, this needs done, this needs done for FHA, USDA, VA. Home inspection is completely separate, and that's for you personally. I have personally never worked with a loan yet that requires a home inspection. I've heard of them, never had to deal with it. So the home inspection is just for your knowledge only. The lender does not require it. None that I've worked with anyways. I've heard that they're out there. I just haven't worked with them. The appraisal is that inspection that everyone thinks of for the FHA, VA, USDA. Okay, so once the appraisal report comes back, if nothing needs done and the title company's done, you get the clear to close from the underwriting, then you're good to go. You get to close. I would say probably 75% of the time that's the case. I have 6 kids. I don't have an office. I'm actually surprised that this is the first time you've heard. So that is pretty much the home buying process. I hope you got lots of good information out of this. Like I said, the home inspection and Tracy's video, the whole thing in depth is in links below. And I'm also currently working with homeowners insurance and a couple other vendors that I think are important for homeowners to know about. So as long as you entered your email, I will just send you a link when those are available, and you will be good to go. I also sent you a buyer's pack, tons and tons of handouts, tons and tons of information. Check it out. Let me know if it's something you're interested in. If you are looking to buy in 2022 and you do not have an agent yet, I would love to work with you. First-time home buyers, that's my sweet spot. I love first-time home buyers, but obviously I'll work with anybody. I love to take my time with them. It's one of the biggest investments of your life, and it's very scary, and I like to take that worry away. So thank you again for joining. If you have any questions whatsoever, you see my phone number. I'm on Facebook. It's Steph Sellen Homes on my Facebook page. My website, it should be stephsellenhomes.com. It should come up, but it's also stephanie.sellen, or I don't even know what it is. stephaniesellen.exprealty.com. That's what it is. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a good evening. Thanks again.